Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Monday Talks with the Conways.
I'm still Courtney.
And I'm still Chris. We were just going over in our head. It's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. It's not Tuesday.
I this morning, just in case, I was like, don't forget we have our live tonight.
Yes.
Just in case.
Yes. So thank you so much for bearing with us and changing days with us.
Yes.
And I'm glad somebody brought up last week that there was another meeting on Thursdays.
Yes.
So we did not want to overlap or have anybody have to pick from anyone. So
Hello, Regina.
Hi, Regina. Glad to have you all here
I really
tonight.
hope that Monday still works for most of our regulars, because I'd be really sad if it doesn't, because we love having you guys here every week.
Yes. Hopefully we maybe can reach a few more people, but we really hope that our regulars can come on here. And tonight is a really good topic. So hopefully we'll have a few more people join and allow us to come into their Monday. And what better way to start the new week than to have Monday Talks with the Conways.
Hello, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly. Glad to have you all here with us.
Hello, Lydia.
Lydia. I was hoping Lydia would be here.
And all of our friends over on Instagram.
The one person so far.
Oh, I was looking at all those names.
Yeah, they come and go, seem to be. Instagram is not quite as I think people are scrolling through reels sometimes and might get on our live and then might just keep scrolling, which is okay, absolutely okay. But hopefully we'll have a few more people join over there. But we have a lot of really good things that we want to talk about this week. But as always, if you want to catch up on any of our previous videos, you can head over to YouTube and go to the Healthy App channel there and watch our previous sessions there. If you want to have an audio version, feel free to look at Spotify podcasts or Apple podcasts, download something to listen to while you're working out or while you're traveling, stuck in traffic, any of those fun things. So feel free to look at, listen, or look at our previous stuff. And also, if you have any comments, feel free to chime in. We love interactive podcasts. So it makes things a lot more fun and enjoyable for all of us. We're so thankful that you're here to support us, and we are definitely here to support you in your journey. So with that, I will go ahead and let Courtney, my lovely bride, introduce our topic for the evening.
Yes, and speaking of support, tonight's topic is when you need accountability and support, because we all have those days where we don't just like want that. We need the accountability. We need the support. And sometimes people don't know where to go for accountability or support. And sometimes people do know where to go, but they just need the reminders of, people you can go to, friends, family, just whoever.
And accountability and support are what I would consider two sides of one coin. They're both really different items, but they're both very essential.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about some of the differences between what accountability is and what the support system is too, and how you can be one. And also, it doesn't have to be the obvious person either. So we'll be talking about quite a few things on there. And that you might just need a little bit more than you might need a little bit more. But when we're starting a health journey, we think that we have to be just disciplined, and we've got to have all of this down, and we've got to do this alone. And you don't have to. Us as parents raising our child, it takes more than just us to raise our child. There's a saying that's quite popular.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, and it takes a village for all kinds of things. It takes a village for raising a child. It takes a village for becoming more healthier, for your mental health support, for finances, relationships. You need kind of a village, a support system and team. And in part, we hope that we can be part of that for you. We can be an accountability system for you. We can be that support for you too. But there's going to be multiple places. Hopefully, you can grab that.
Yes, and the thing is, when things are going well, sometimes you feel like doing it on your own is easier when things are going well. It's when things are tough and hard that you really realize I might need somebody else. The real test comes when the motivation disappears, the scale isn't moving. Life gets stressful. You've had a bad week. So many different things could cause you to need that accountability and that support, especially the support if you have had bad week.
Exactly. And then you kind of start questioning whether all the effort is worth it. And so those are the moments where the support system and the accountability system is really going to be key in helping you to continue to succeed, because you've had some amazing successes whether you've been on this journey for a short amount of time or a long amount of time, whether you've had to restart your journey multiple times, is really definitely very important to make sure.
Hello, Linda.
Hi, I'm glad to have you here, Linda.
Yes, and it's very, very important to realize that needing accountability is not a weakness. It's not something that makes you weak because you can't do it on your own. It's recognizing that we are typically more successful when we have those people around us.
Have you ever been just ready to give up on something, but somebody was there and they gave you that spark, they gave you that hope, that encouragement to keep going, and that's something that's really, really pivotal. And we've made this comment before. I don't know if Joy's on here before, but Joy is one of our biggest supporters and advocators. And we've had moments where I've messaged her and saying, I don't really want to go to the gym. And she's like, Chris, you can do this. Go to the gym. You've got this. And then, 30 minutes later, hey, did you go?
Yeah.
Which the first part is what she did was the support and the encouragement. And then the after part was the accountability. Hey, did you end up going? And we did. So that's definitely something, like we said, two sides of the coin, the accountability there.
Yes, because accountability and support, they really overlap, but they're not the exact same thing. Accountability is kind of like, did you go on a walk today? You said you wanted to work out 3 times. How is that going? While support is, that sounds like it was a really hard week. Or I'm proud of you for sticking with it.
Or one bad meal doesn't erase everything you've accomplished. What can I do to help you? Those are kind of the support systems, that side of the of that system. You really need both. You need someone to encourage you, but sometimes you need someone who loves you enough to say, okay, but you told me that this is important to you. What happened?
Sometimes you need that tough love. Sometimes Chris has to have some tough love when it comes to my health journey. Like he can tell when I'm having my moments, and he's had to hide food from me literally. And I sometimes get angry, especially you women know that time of the month. Like when I want something, I want it. And he knows, Courtney, you said you weren't going to have that, and I'm not giving it to you, even if you beg. And he has to have that tough love. Sometimes you have to have that person that has that tough love, because at the end of the day, it's because they care about you. And it might kind of be awful in the moment, but it is what you need. And
the reverse, when I'm sitting there snacking on something that I probably should have stopped like 5 minutes ago, Courtney, like, how much more of that are you going to have? Not in a mean way. And it can be tough, but it does need to come from a place of love. So that's something where you need to find a balance. The accountability partner that you have, they really need to have that balance between the kind of a little bit more tough and more realistic and more honest talk, but still with love and support.
Yes, because at the end of the day, they're not your food cop. Their job is not to shame you for eating something, make you feel guilty, criticize your body. It's to bring you up, not bring you down.
So it's more of a conversation of what they can do to help you, and it goes both ways. Like I help and support Courtney, encourage her, and keep her accountable, and she does the same thing for me too. So it shouldn't ever be a one-way street. You shouldn't be getting a lot of support and help from someone, but not giving any return. And they might need different. Like you might have somebody that is on a different journey, and they might need a different kind of accountability, or might need a different kind of support. So you're not always going to be crossing paths. But make sure that if you've got somebody that's giving you that encouragement and support, find ways, even if it's a different journey, to support and encourage them as well.
Yes, and like Linda said, you need to hear that stuff sometimes. And sometimes, like honestly, sometimes I'm like, Chris, you're so annoying. Like, stop.
All the time.
But I mean, when it comes to like accountability, sometimes I'm like, dude, I don't want to go to the gym today. Like, leave me alone. But he's doing what I asked him to do in a different moment. And he knows that. And he knows at the end of the day, it's what I need. And I know that too, even if I'm like, you are so annoying, leave me alone.
And sometimes that encouragement is, if we're at the gym and we're both not feeling it, we do most of the time try to go in. But sometimes, okay, we've really had a rough, let's go walk around the store. So we're still getting some activity. We're still
moving our body.
We're
it's not in a
exactly,
gym.
Exactly. And that sometimes that might be what she needs. She might need some encouragement. Okay, we don't have to go to the gym, but we do need to get some movement in. So let's go get some steps in somewhere too. So you can have someone who gives you grace and encouragement to do the next best thing. So if we're not going to go to the gym, the next best thing would be to go get some movement in, and ideally leave the wallet in the car. And we talked about this before. You don't have to have just the one accountability partner or support system. You can have more than one. We have multiple people. I have like 3 or 4, and Courtney has like 20. She's the social butterfly of the relationship.
Which is so funny because like in real life, I am so shy and introverted, but when it comes to like this and like social media and like Instagram, like I'm like, hey people here, like they've watched our live and been like, who are you? Which is so funny that he calls me the social butterfly because I'm really not.
And Courtney is naturally more introverted, but she has those extroverted tendencies. I'm naturally more extroverted, but I have the introverted tendencies. So I like my solitude and quietness. Yes, Vicky, I'm glad to have you join us. And sorry that you forgot we were starting on Mondays. Well, we will be on Mondays going forward unless something scheduling.
And we try to give you guys advance notice if like something does change.
Yes, but yes, if you need to, you can catch the recording and get the beginning of it. But yes,
but different people can fill different roles. Like your spouse or your partner, they literally see your everyday life. For the most part, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They might can help with things like meals and grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. Like they can help you in ways other people can't because they're there for all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. But then also you can have like best friends. Those are really, really good, important people to have in your life. But really, ultimately, what surprised me is sometimes your best support system is going to be somebody you've never met before. We've never met most of you in person. Mm-hmm. Courtney has so many friends on Instagram that she's never met before, but have formed tight relationships and they're really good support system.
Literally some of my best friends I've never met in person. But I saw something, well, I've seen it multiple times, but it says, no one will ever support you like your internet friend that you've never met. Mm-hmm. And it's true. It's very true.
And sometimes you get to meet those internet friends. We've met a few of them, and we would like to continue meeting them as things.
We have a couple that we're hopefully going to meet soon. So
yes, absolutely. So, like I said, it might surprise you, but some of your best supporters, your best support system, can be people you've never met. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, no matter what community you're part of, whether you're part of the healthy community or another weight loss program, but generally speaking, the weight loss community as a whole, no matter what program you do, has been more welcoming and supportive than any other community that I've seen. So it's really, really great to have that support system, even if it's somebody you've never met.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Also good to have someone that's on the same journey as you.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be, but it's really good.
Yes, that is one reason that Chris is my accountability partner. Honestly, we've had people be like, it is so good that your husband is doing this with you, or it is so good that your wife is doing it with you, because they struggle mm-hmm. because their spouse is not. It really is helpful that he's on this journey too. So sometimes it's helpful if it is someone on the same journey as you.
Because if they're on the same journey or similar journey, they can relate to your issues more. They can understand the cravings. Mm-hmm. They can understand the frustration with the scales and how it's important to change habits and plateaus. There's nothing more frustrating than explaining a plateau to someone who's not going through that.
Yeah,
they don't really know what it is.
Like, we'll just eat less. That's it.
They think it's simple. If plateaus were simple, I don't think anyone
would have them.
Yeah, we would get past them. But it's really important. Now, you can have people that are on different journeys that can still be your support mm-hmm. system. You can have someone who has been through it in the past, and maybe they've gotten to their goal weight, and they've had some success. That's also a really good person to be friends with because they've known the whole journey.
They know what to do,
and they've gotten to their goal weight, and they can be a really good accountability system there for you.
There's a difference between someone who supports what you're doing and someone who personally understands what you're going through. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that person who supports you cannot be an accountability partner, but it is just really helpful mm-hmm. to have someone that understands it.
Exactly. And kind of a personal example for us is we've been on this fertility journey to have another baby for over 5 years. And we have lots of people that are on our side and are encouraging us and supporting us and loving us. But the fact of the matter is probably most of them don't really fully understand what we're going through. Mm-hmm. And so their support is not the same as, we've got a couple of really close friends that are going through some of the same
Or
issues, or they have in the past, and it's a lot more meaningful to have someone who has gone on through that, or has dealt with that fertility journey.
Yes, that does not mean that we do not appreciate the love and support from other people, but
Absolutely.
sometimes you just need to hear from people who know what you're going through.
So it's more meaningful, and it means more sometimes when you know that they understand it. So when you have someone who's on this health journey with you, they really truly understand what you're going through, and it's a little bit more meaningful for you. Mm-hmm. Vicki mentions her oldest daughter lives in another state, and we're accountability partners. They can be far away, they can be right next door, or they can be in another state, or even as far as another country. Mm-hmm. As long as you have that communication, that's one of the great things about the internet. We have the instant communication.
Yes.
You can text your daughter, hey, how's things going? Did you go to the gym? Or, have you met your goal today? Mm-hmm. And that's something that is really great to have, the daily check-ins, if you can, at the very least, weekly check-ins. How's your week been going? How many goals have you been able to crush this week? Where can I support you in next week to make sure the next week goes even better?
And also, if you have someone that's not there with you, sometimes them being your accountability partner or you being theirs kind of gives you a reason to talk to them a little more often, because mm-hmm. you are checking in on them. So you're not forgetting that person.
Mm-hmm. So it's so easy to get wrapped up in our daily lives and forget the people that are on extended circles. So having a reason to reach out to them and check in on them is really, really great. And sometimes, if you're super duper busy, it's sometimes good to have a reminder, a check-in sometimes. Mm-hmm. I forget to call my sister sometimes. And it's not that I don't care for her. I love her dearly, but we just get really, really busy and she's far away. So have a reminder to check in with your people, check in with your family, check in with your friends, your accountability partners. Make sure that you do it on a somewhat regular basis so that they know that you're still there for them. Yeah. And what makes a good accountability partner? The right person isn't necessarily a person who's hardest on you. It really is the person who can encourage you without judging you. Mm-hmm. They can remind you of your goals, not theirs, because your goals are probably going to be different. Even if you're on the same kind of health journey, your goals might be a little bit different.
And I also want to throw out there, it's totally okay. Like if somebody's like, oh man, I've had a hard day. Yeah, me too. Like that's not the same thing as, like, I don't know if I'm making sense.
Some people, well, I know where you're getting at. Some people have a tendency to, when they tell somebody something and then they say, oh man, I understand what you're going through, they might not understand. It's an empathy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to compete with you. They're trying to say, I truly understand. I've had a rough week too, or I've struggled with this too.
I do that all the time. All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. They can celebrate your small victories as well as your big victories.
Because sometimes we need people to remind us of the small victories, because sometimes we don't notice them. Like a lot of those non-scale victories, like I don't even think about them sometimes. It's like, hey, did you realize this? And I'm like, whoa, you're right. Like I didn't notice that.
Especially, we mentioned, it can be an excuse to go visit a friend that you haven't seen in a while, a family member you haven't seen in a while. If you haven't seen someone in 2 months and you've lost like 3 or 4 pounds, I guarantee you they'll say, whoa, have you lost weight? And that's something that's really, really good too. So they notice your progress that you might not see.
I work at a daycare that I'm not at all the time. And so sometimes I see parents that I hadn't seen in a while. And it's my favorite thing when a parent sees me. Like one of the grandmothers was like, Courtney, where'd you go? Like, where are you? Because half of me looks like it's gone. Mm-hmm. It's like my favorite thing when I see one of them that I haven't seen in a long time, and they're like, whoa, look at you, girl.
Yep. And the accountability partner they don't expect perfection, but they do kind of give you that gentle encouragement, and they'll occasionally challenge your excuses while not being completely jerks about it as well. Mm-hmm. And they know when you need advice and when you just need someone to listen. Sometimes you just need someone to listen. You don't need someone to fix your problem. This is where I have to work on with Courtney, because my analytical mind always tries to jump to how I can help her fix the problems. Sometimes she just needs me to listen about her day, listen about her struggles, and that's all they need. And that's a really, really, really good. Crystal mentions, how often do we update our food database? I'm not 100% certain.
I'm not 100% sure, but we can try to find out for you.
Yeah, we can keep an eye.
He's going to screenshot this so we remember.
Yeah, we the team does a pretty good job at trying to keep everything up to date, but we do have a chat with the developers. So we will try to see if we can find that out for you and figure out. We want to make sure that the app is as up to date and good as possible. But you also can, when you scan things, you can edit the macros to match what the label says if it doesn't quite, match what you're seeing.
I'm thinking that this might need to be a two-parter.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was just, yeah. But when you are somebody else's accountability partner or support, ask what kind of support they need. This is huge. Because sometimes they don't need you to fix them. They just need to vent. They don't need you to say anything, like he was saying. Other times, don't let me talk myself out of this. Hold me accountable. Sometimes they don't need your accountability. Sometimes they need your support. Sometimes they need you to listen. That's why accountability and support are so closely related, but they are so different, because sometimes they need you to be accountable. Sometimes they need you to support them. Sometimes they need both.
Absolutely. And then we just remember, we touched on this a little bit briefly. Accountability works both ways. Make sure, even though your goals might not be exactly the same, one person might be trying to lose weight and another person might be trying to exercise more consistently, but make sure that you're there for your person as much as they are for you. It's a give and take. And it might not always be 100%, because people are always, talk about marriage having to be equal all the time. There are going to be days where I give 100% and Courtney is not able to, and there are days where she gives 100% and I'm not able to. But it doesn't need to be consistently like that. It wears on us if one person isn't really kind of keeping up with as much.
Yeah.
But you can have give and take. But it's even more great when you both are able to give 100% too. But give as much as you possibly can within reason.
Yes, because like that, you may be running a marathon. I am not going to be running a marathon with you. I'm not even going to attempt to run the marathon with you. I probably won't even run a 5K with you.
But she will encourage you.
But I will encourage you and support you. Sometimes we don't need somebody to run the race with us. We just need them to support us.
A cheerleader.
Yes, we just need, I will be your biggest cheerleader if nobody else is. I will be your biggest cheerleader. So sometimes you just need someone, even if they're not doing the exact same thing as you, that's going to cheer us on.
Absolutely.
Hello, Joy.
That's okay. Joy is a little bit late. She was doing dishes.
That's okay. It's a new night. It's thrown everybody off.
Yep. It threw us off. We had to multiple times in our head say it's not Tuesday. It's Monday Talks. It's not quite as catchy as Tuesday Talks. But it'll get there. Once we get used to it, it'll sink in. But like we said, we don't have to be doing the same things. Just understand this matters to you, so I'm going to help you keep going. And supporting someone else can help support you too. So we're here and we support you, and us supporting you and us doing this gives us so much energy and so much vitality and support. So it does just as much for us as we hope we're helping with your journey as well.
Yes, but sometimes when you're encouraging someone to not give up, hearing those words helps you too. If I tell him, don't give up, you got this, I'm not going to go 2 seconds later and give up. I'm going to keep going because he needs to see me going. He needs to see me I need to put my words into action. So if you're there for somebody, sometimes it helps you as well, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yes. And so we're pretty much done. Yes, Shelly, you can kind of catch up a little bit, but share your wins, do daily texts or weekly texts, and encourage each other. So next, we're going to move on to our recipe for the week. It is delicious. It is on the little heavier side of the bites.
This is not technically a health food, but it's something lighter if you are craving something sweet. Because sometimes you just don't want something healthified. You just want the real deal. So.
And this gets you the real deal while minimizing the impact. That's not something we have on a regular basis. We did have these. We make these 2 days ago, and we actually still have 5 or 6 left.
Yeah, we've been having one a day each, which the fact that I've only had one a day is a big deal.
Well, it helps the fact they're out in the fridge in the garage, so we have to go outside into the garage.
I stood there with the container open eating one today, I could have but I didn't.
Yes. So this is a really good sweet treat. Also something that if you're going to a gathering that they want a dessert and you want to bring something that is a little bit more lightened up and more better, not as bad. So here's the recipe instead of just, hyping up and talking about it and never bringing it up. So here is the recipe for this week.
Cinnamon rolls. What? So you need a half a cup of like Fairlife type milk. We have recently discovered that we love the Nuri milk. It's 20 grams protein per cup. But you could also use a protein shake if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
But half a cup of that, a half a cup of this is Brown Magic Baker 0 calorie sweetener. That is literally Splenda brown sugar. That's what that is. Any brown sugar replacement, I think we use Truvia. But any brown sugar replacement, there's Swerve, there's Splenda. They have so many different kinds now. Fourth a cup of salted butter. I believe that's half a stick. And then a can of your favorite cinnamon rolls with whatever icing you want that it comes with. And then cooking spray. Preheat the oven to 350, spray an 8x8, so a square pan. You can also do this in a round pan if you really wanted to. Reserve 2 tablespoons of the milk and add the rest of the milk to the bottom of the pan. Add the cinnamon rolls on top of the milk, or if you're using protein shake, the protein shake. In a saucepan, heat up the brown sugar and butter until smooth. And everything's melted together. Add the remaining 2 tablespoons of milk and stir it into the mixture. It just kind of gives it some creaminess. And then top the cinnamon rolls with the brown sugar mixture. Bake at 350 for 20 minutes. Remove from the oven and immediately top with the frosting that came out with the cinnamon rolls. We literally eat ours immediately. We don't wait for it to cool down.
Well, we had one. Yes.
The rest when we have our one.
Yep.
But one of these is 199 calories. It's not high in protein. 2.8 grams of protein, 36.4 carbs, anywhere between 5 and 9 bites, depending on your plan. So it's not like a low bite, but that's what your weeklies are for, people. That's what your weeklies are for.
Absolutely. So this is not something we have on the regular basis, but we've mentioned this multiple times before. You can't deprive yourself of some of your cravings, and this is one of Courtney's biggest cravings.
Cinnamon rolls is like one of my biggest things. Like I randomly am just like, I want cinnamon rolls, and like I cannot get the thought out of my head, and I can't do like fake, like it has to be the real deal, and this gives me the real deal.
Yes, and like we said, one of those cans can last us a whole week, and then she's gotten her cinnamon roll kick, and she's good for a couple months. So definitely it is a sweet treat, a little heavier on the bites, but still totally worth it if the cinnamon roll is kind of your vibe. Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much for joining us with us on this new night, Monday Talks with the Conaways. I'm going to have to say that 100 more times for it to kind of roll off the tongue. But we will be here next week, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.